It's hard to imagine my people taking shelter in Paradise.
Paradise.
Can we talk a moment? I wanted to pick your brain about Shatterscarp. The ruins of Naku Kubel predate civilization as we know it. We had so much to learn from them. But the Steel Garrote care nothing for the past. Only the future, as long as it's under their thumb. I'm not saying it was an easy decision, or that you should have acted differently. The fact remains that we played into our enemy's hands, and what did we get in return? We delayed the inevitable. Better than nothing, I suppose, though not by much. I'm holding you to that. Maybe there's no right answer to any of this. Maybe all we can do is keep going, leaving chaos in our wake. I just wish the world and its problems would leave us alone. Even for a moment. Give us time to focus on our mission. Ourselves. As do I. We both deserve a little peace. And if the world will not give it to us, then we'll just find it in each other. While I have your ear, can I ask you one more question? Something about Inquisitor Ludwig has been getting to me. She seemed eager to distinguish your Adiran loyalty from your nature as a godlike, as though the two are incompatible. She believes you can be loyal to your country or to your nature, but not both. Do you find that unusual? To be sure. It's just... When you agreed to destroy the ruins, Ludwig was surprised, as though she didn't believe you would do the right thing. Ludwig clearly respects you, but I don't believe she trusts you. Anyway, that just had me thinking. Could be nothing, or could be something. Time will tell. Get some rest. You deserve a nap. For that matter, so do I. Despite everything that's happened, I'm so grateful to be working with Yatsli. In many ways, Quilichi has been like a second father to me. But Yatsli, she's like my dirty aunt who's up to no good. Oh, she's an expert in that field. So, what's on your mind? Thanks for talking. Thank you for telling us about Tama. For what it's...
For the camp of an official Adiran envoy, I was expecting a little more. A proper bed, at least. But I suppose this will do for now. As long as you have a bath, of course. With how overwrought you Adirans can be, I expected at least some tacky rugs. But, as riveting as it is to complain about our accommodations, I imagine you have another topic in mind? I'm the only buyer you'll find here, and I already have the jar. A lesson for next time, darling. It's always worth some haggling. Unfortunately, it's been quite some time since I've met another who focused on the godless as I do. And I imagine I'd be more knowledgeable on the subject than anyone else you could find. I've yet to be burned in a single flame trap, and I don't intend to start anytime soon. Fair guess, though. When I got my first grimoire as a child, I was trying out some of the fancy new spells I'd been given. I was attempting a simple illusion spell, but I must have slurred my words. The next thing I know, everything was on fire. That was my assumption as well. Barrett's balls. It's nice to know I won't have to dumb things down with you. What is childhood but for silly things? When else can you get away with arson? My father was able to pull me from the flames as my mother doused them. I burned myself badly enough to give myself some vivid dreams, but the house still stood at the end. Of course. Now I only burn those that deserve it, like mosquitoes and university administrators. The only lasting damage was my burn mark and the dreams. Nightmares are still dreams, envoy. Just not ones you'd recommend to others. They're not nearly as enjoyable as my more provocative dreams. Oh, I'll just be sure to have a quick release knot if you ever make that fantasy reality. Someone should learn from my mistakes. I certainly have no intention to.
Goodness, we're feeling very honest today, aren't we?
As delightful as you are, we've much to do and less time to do it in. Shall we go?
Never thought I'd be going back to go.
Envoy, we need to discuss what you did in the ruins. You destroyed something that was... I'm trying to remain calm. I have to remember that you had a reason for what you did. Nothing infuriates me more than to do what Ludwig wants, but... I'm not unhappy with what you did. Those ruins were literally priceless. They had real Echidans in there. Think of how far my research would have shot forward. But we would have had to sacrifice so many for it. And I can't say that's a fair trade. Usually I know the right answer. It's obvious. Here, though... Of course. Because a common reaction to being set upon by dream thralls is to placate another monster.
Leaving your home behind isn't easy. It's for the best sometimes, but it's never easy.
All right. I understand. I'm sorry, Envoy. This is my life's work. And that skeletal maniac attacked my home. I'm just a little more raw than I thought. It's all right. I think you've earned a bit of trust from me. Things have been... unreal. We spoke to actual ancient Echidans in the ruins. I was able to ask questions and get answers. Perhaps you'll pick a better specialty next time. Most historians have only hoped to speak with past lives through animancy. I'll blow them all away with my next paper. But to go through the trials ourselves? Oh, could we be any luckier? Fascinating. I can't imagine what it was like to grow up a godlike with no god. I'm glad you got answers, sweetheart. Well, I have to start writing this all down before I forget. But do return if you think of any other juicy details. Sweet dreams, Envoy.
Listen, thank you for visiting Tama's memorial with me. I ran from that for so long. I never would have faced it without your help. I know. I'd forgotten what that feels like. Like I just woke up with a hangover. Every feeling, every memory I tried to keep a lid on is sloshing around, and I'm struggling to keep my balance. But I'm also remembering moments I hadn't let myself think on in a long time. Feeling a warmth I couldn't get close to. It's a process.
We think of grief as a burden, as something to be conquered. After a while, it gets to be so familiar, it's almost a source of comfort.
I wish this were another burden to conquer. That would feel easier. It's hard to imagine grief ever being a comfort. But I'll have to take your word for it.
I'm sure you'll be fine.
Thanks. I'll get there. And thank you for seeing this through with me. Was there something else? Shake the sand out of your bedroll before you sit. Thirdborn. If it weren't for the Leviathan skeleton in the middle of town, I'd hardly recognize the place. Well, that's what I'm trying to nail down. You ever come back to a place and feel like the buildings are smaller and the colors are duller? And home just wasn't the same. Thirdborn was always this rugged oasis. Dangerous and out of the way, but bursting with vitality. It was a harbor for larger-than-life types. People like Capo, the Leviathan Slayer, and Tama. Glory seekers, trophy hunters, warriors trying to leave their battles behind. People who built around their stories and their scars. Me too. Being back. It felt like we were watching Thirdborn die a slow death. Yeah, but I thought age was supposed to bring wisdom. Something to balance out the back pains and creaky knees. I think what's eating at me is that Thirdborn seems rudderless. The Dream Scourge is one threat. Conflict with Adir is another. The Living Lands is changing, and Thirdborn feels like a barnacle on a moving ship. Temeriti's leading them as best she can, but towards what? What are we doing out here besides surviving? For a while, I suppose. Eventually, you need more. For the longest time, I was just running from Tama's death. Thanks to you, I'm starting to think about what I might head towards. What about you? You were sent by your Emperor to investigate the Dream Scourge. Since then, you've died, met a secret god, and gotten swept up in tensions between your empire and our scattered settlements. You've been consistent. You brought Egwolf to Adir's justice, and the Steel Garrote's attack on Fjord went forward. Do you know what you're sailing towards, or are you drifting with the tides? It's good to know what you stand for. I envy that clarity sometimes. Thanks for talking. I hope Thirdborn is able to find its way somehow. Night, Envoy.
So, we found a map to the garden. Now we see how accurate those ancient godless cartographers could possibly be. Not sure how helpful that map will be, really. There's probably a reason no one's been to the garden in centuries. No one I'm aware of. Legend says the founder of Solace went there once, but there's no proof. I figure either it's a complete dud and there's nothing really there, or we all lose our minds the second we show up. Either way, was it worth it? Who knows? And that's all that matters, I guess. Let's go. Anyway. Pleasant dreams. Listen, that back there, in the ruins, that was a lot. I know you passed 3 trials, but I'm not sure what that means exactly. Huh. I mean, weren't you talking to them already? It's not that I didn't enjoy tromping around in the ancient death trap, getting bossed around by spirits and all that, but I really do hope this was the last time. That kind of humidity does terrible things to my beard. Anyway. If I must. Let's not do that again. Let's stay out of Archmage's domains from now on. Sure, we made it out alive, but that outcome felt out of my hands more than I'd like. Right. I'm trying. All I'm good at is surviving, under specific conditions that make sense to me. When things don't make sense, what am I supposed to do? Just hope it all works out? Right. I wish I'd thought of that. Anyway, I'm glad to be out of there. Time to curl up with some jerky and a few swigs of Wodak. Anyway. Not before I've done some reading. Listening to Yatsley's thoughts about godless ruins is one thing. Bringing her along for the rest of the trip is something else. Well, don't you think it's a little convenient? You need to go somewhere no one ever goes, and here she is to show you the way? If she's read anything about the garden, it was written centuries ago. Obviously, things have changed since then. Bothered? Pedraku. It's my job to guide you as safely as possible. What you're doing isn't safe. I'll go along with whatever you decide. Just don't be disappointed when she doesn't show you what you wanted to see. Anyway. Thanks for talking. I suppose if you're on a wild goose chase, there are worse places to do it. At least I know how to deal with those sorts of things. Rope, lantern, extra water skins. Yatsley's got you going in all sorts of abandoned ruins. Who knows what's down there? More questions, most likely? And spiders? How come the answers are never in a little oasis with shade and drink service? I just want to make sure we've covered all the options before we dive headfirst into another deadly ruin. Right. Just keep it in mind, I guess. Anyway. You too.
Have you been to every...
How could they? Beloved that you are, and still they bared their fangs. We blessed the Jabaru Sinakis, and they prick us in return. Roots like a wall, we only meant to protect. We thrashed against the blinding light to keep the Akita safe. We never wanted this. So many seedlings lost. We grieved, but we saved many. The burned queen. She hurt us, hurt our people. She did this. Yet still the branches swipe. We mourn, we could not be to blame. They should have shared our love. Their spite? This we could not foresee. But you are here, a green shoot after the fire. You would not raise your hand against us. A blossom of trust, a hand as soft as the breeze. Sleep now. Dream of golden poppies on the road ahead.
We should be careful. I doubt this is the same third one we left.
Well, the walls are still standing. Let's see who's still on their feet.
Who needs fabric? We still have stuff.
You there, the one with the face. Perhaps I could entice you.
I've got the freshest fish gear.
The ruins. What happened? I heard them fall to rubble. It comes, it sings, it dreams of war and blood and smoke. And did you have a hand, Envoy? Sorry is a parasite on the vine, eating and never stopping. You will not restore what you've destroyed. Ruins break into bones, they do. They make a necklace, a collar of time. We choke and die. I'm sorry, I think I need a moment. Smoke and rhyme, we are losing time.
Oh no.
I think she's already slipping away from us. We've got to stop this plague, Envoy.
Sing black, sing silver, songs of permission. Yes, yes, go. Yes, leave.
A butterfly emerges, a dream of peace.
There he is.
It's in!
Oh, and boy.
Yeah.
Safe travels to you.
While that parting is probably the closest Ludwig gets to friendly, I'm not looking forward to our paths crossing again.
Frankly, I'll take any opportunity we get to ruin Ludwig's day.
I'll say this much for the Inquisitor. She's stubborn, like a rat. And we gave her everything she wanted.
I'd say we shouldn't stay on her bad side, but I'm not sure she has any other sides.
You know her better than any of us. What's your read?
Indeed. And death is her strength, and her weakness.
But you're saying there's a chance?
Well, the joke's on her in any case. Ludwig won't get very far without that map. She'll be scratching her skull.
Somehow, I don't think she'll let that stop her for long.
And Ludwig definitely strikes me as someone who doesn't leave food on her plate. Right, and the Steel Garrote is famously level-headed. Just look at Fior.
Ludwig and her steel garrote have the numbers and the power. But we have spunk and a map. And that might just be enough to find the garden before she does.
We're all competing for the same thing. A place we barely understand, with no guarantees of what we'll find there. Still, I am determined to reach the garden. Above all else.
Ugh, that's just a pile of Sokka. Oh, now you're listening to me, all of a Sokka sup sudden. You won't find a blessed thing. This wild beetle chase of yours is a Padraku waste of time. To get to the garden, you have to go through Galawain's tusks. The land is made of lava and acid. It wants to eat you alive.
So it's tough odds. We've gotten this far together.
Tough odds is an extra Zarb jumping in at the last minute. This is a long trek, on foot, through a land that can barely support life. I don't have to be a Blessed Oracle to know this won't go how you think it will.
Well, someone's got to do something about the Dream Scourge at the very least.
And it has to be you, because a voice in your head said so. What do you know about Soppadal? How do you know you can trust them? That's good for you. What about the rest of us, huh? Will your secret god bring us all back, or just you?
What's on your mind, Marius? What bothers you so?
Because I can scream until I'm blue in the face, and you people would still rather trust the Envoy's pet headache demon. And now you want to drag us through the deadliest region in the world because a sleeping god said so. You're not listening to what I am telling you. I'm done here. Do whatever blessed planning you want to do. You don't need me for that.
Let's just take a breath, Marius. You don't mean that.
Nope. I said what I said. Come get me when it's time to go.
Poor Marius. Something's really rattled him.
I've never seen Marius like this. Something's going on with him, but I don't know what. hope so. One of us should talk to him. If something's eating at him, I don't like leaving him to his thoughts.
Well, hopefully Marius will be okay soon. We have to get going if we want to get to the garden before Ludwig.
We won't get far unless we look after each other. Now's your chance.
I've been trying to sort my thoughts since we left her domain. We met Ringrim. The Ringrim. Master illusionist of the Circle of Archmagi. And we impressed her? She even offered to make me her apprentice. It was overwhelming. I can still feel my heartbeat. It doesn't feel real, but it is. Oh, Handra's titties. What am I going to do? If I take the apprenticeship, I'll have to leave Quilici and Fjord. And what about my study of the Godless? I've spent my whole life with them. Oh, you even learned their proper name. I can't believe you listened. You'll make me cry at this rate. I'm not a kid anymore. I can't do everything all at once. There are only 26 hours in a day. I love my life as it is now. Exploring as I wish and coming home to open arms and a warm bed. I don't want to give that up. But this is something I never even dreamed of. But it's big. It won't leave room for much else. And I'm too old to... Oh, Envoy. What would you do? I know. That's the whole issue. I've learned magic through my own means, reading and studying on my own. How much more could I learn with her? And how much faster? Within a fortnight, I could rule the world.
As if you need an archmage for that. You could rule the world with a smile.
Thank you, dearie. I can't promise I'll act on it, but I really appreciate the advice. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to write a letter to Quilici. He'll never believe me.
I know what you're gonna say. Marius, you need to slow down. Think about your feelings. Well, I don't want to think about my feelings. So just let me be alone for a bit. How should I know? I don't know what's going on in my head half the time. Just the thought of going back to Galawain's tusks makes my heart feel like it's going to explode. I sweat. My ears ring. I can't breathe. When it seems like we're really heading there, I feel like I'm dying. Right. Thanks. I understand not wanting to go back, but why can't I just thinking about it makes me feel ill. I need some time alone, Envoy. I need to get some rest. I'll be ready to go when the time comes.
Big mistake!
Didn't stand a chance!
Better on our feet than in the ground.
Envoy! As I live and breathe. The Honourable Envoy. Ludwine speaks well of you. If you're looking for the Inquisitor, she's hunting a lead to the garden through its twisted silver roots. The tower calls, and it turns, and it calls, but for the roots we go, if not for the roots. The roots say your name, Envoy. They say you told them to do it. I feel I can't think straight. Body's full of roots, pulling me. You did this, didn't you? The roots try to choke the steel garrote, and we will strangle them in return. Cut them, bleed them.
Oh dear. Be careful. He might be too far gone.
The roots come, and you'll be the death of the sun. Won't let you. We'll stop you. Kill you! Die as the roots die. Die, traitor! Lay yourself down.
Show yourself.
Show me what you got!
You asked for it, that's all right.
What's that?
I liked that trick a lot better before it led to all those trials in Naku Kubel. That island with the glowing tree, that's gotta be the goal.
You sure do know how to show us the sights, Envoy.
Much as I want to get to the garden, I'm loath to swim through that. I don't think this broken bridge will help us. Didn't we read about another way into the garden, though? The other path is hidden well. I certainly don't see any way across the acid sea.
I'd say we find whoever's in charge around here. If anyone knows about another path, they're probably in Solace Keep. Then let's head to Solace Keep. If we hurry, we can keep ahead of the steel garrote.
Yes, let's go already.
This would be a great spot, but there are so many of them.
My. It's rather dusty here, isn't it? How did the dwarves manage?
I'm starting to wonder if those gates are to keep strangers out or locals in.
Well, isn't this a homely little fortress? So warm, so welcoming.
Outsiders aren't permitted in Solace Keep. Turn your ass around and go back the way you came. Precisely. We don't welcome outsiders in Solace. It's a violation of Tenet 3 of Nandru's 9 Creeds. No person excepting wardens of the Pargrunen shall be granted safe harbor without express permission of the Council, heretofore established by Nandru, the First Warden, or without the attestation of an established, honored Warden of the Keep. That is correct. Without the Solace Council or a Warden to vouch for you, your presence in the Keep is forbidden. No Warden, no Keep.
We really will have to drag Marius into this, won't we? The poor dear.
Envoy? I'm not ready to go to Solace. Maybe there's another way. Maybe we can fashion some kind of flying boat? Fuitu meio, Envoy. I don't know. There's just so much. Right. Maybe it would. Thanks, Envoy. I feel this fear inside. This heart pounding, can't breathe. It's like I'm dying every time. I've been bit by core vipers, fallen into old spike pits, drank cure water from a Zarup shaman. And it never felt like this. It's as if the thought of being here, of returning home, is the deadliest thing I can imagine. And it's getting worse. I imagine you can. You've been through a lot. You've already died once, for God's sake. It's more than just going home, I think. It's everything. The politics, the people, the way I left. I betrayed the traditions I was raised on, and I don't know why. I've seen that island off the coast all my life, and I grew up hearing tales about the garden. But it always felt like a legend, like those old tales about the gods. No one has been there in centuries, as far as I know. Do you blame me? A magical place Solace has been sworn to protect since it was founded, and no one can go there? Sounds to me like a good way to get a nosy kid to stop asking questions. There is something that's bothering me. Specifically, if you can spare a moment. Since we entered the Tusks, I've been getting these flashes of memory, Like there are answers in my head I can't get to. They seem to be about a village, somewhere north of Solace. Fear and sorrow, but also answers. Thanks, Envoy. It might be nothing, but it'll be nice having backup whenever I go to find it. Anyway. Until next time. Oh, God. Anyone else finding it hard to breathe?
Oh dear. Focus on something else, dear. Like...
Schemes in the dark. The mountains shift in unknowable shapes. The sulfur scalds. We do not like to linger in this place. The rule of the wilds. What will they do to gain such victory? Beast of treachery smells you. It stalks you across the land. A sword for a settlement, the scorpion promises to protect. Rose today, thorn tomorrow. Friend or foe, the branches shake. Another time, a distant ache. A hidden strike, a bond bleeds in silence. Have your hands known this? An oak everlasting. Why? A certain spring. The bloom always succeeds the frost. The storm blows, others falter. What good is a vow if it can break? Trust. We have learned much. Dream of dandelions with two heads.
You again? I told you the first time.
Fuitu Mayu. It's Cosmine. Just let me handle this.
What? Marius? No. You must be a ghost. A curse.
That would be news to me.
You're alive. You... Asshole! You show your face now? Now?
Several times, but I hit more than I missed.
We used to be friends, or so I thought. But then this Jitule left, unannounced. No note, no nothing. Didn't even say goodbye to Iancu. And now you cozy up here, after 3 years, with an adherent godlike, no less? No offense. I can't allow that. You know the rules. Outsiders cannot enter without express permission of the Council.
Or with an honored warden.
Which you are not. I shouldn't even be talking to either of you. It's forbidden. Why, you pencil-pushing, goat-kissing little bookworm! I ought to stab you for that!
Try it, and see how quickly I forget that we both grew up here. Do you think the Council will care about your promises when a Death Guard and her army turns Solace inside out?
Fuitu, Marius. You've grown an edge since you left. I'll let you in. But be warned. Solace is not as it was, Marius.
I doubt it. Nothing really changes in Solace.
You'll see for yourself. The Council isn't what it was. Keep a watchful eye. Lower it on down. Quickly now.
I admit it. Solace is damned impressive. Just be aware, people of Solace are just as stubborn as its walls. Gods.
No one gave the order.
If it's the new...
All right.
You... Duty won't feed us, Mother. Duty won't keep us from dying.
Don't do anything.
Welcome back to...
Sanctuary of Nandru. Hasn't changed a bit.
It is carved from stone.
An outsider.
Mihala is to blame. We need to open our gates to the world, lest it leave us behind. The council chamber is behind.
Ready yourselves. Council's just up this lift.
Are they gonna throw us in the volcano if this goes badly?
If we open our gates, we will talk about this later. A guest. What is the meaning of this? Who let them in here?
They're here because I vouched for them.
Marius, you're alive.
There were rumors you died, Marius. We mourned you. You shouldn't have returned.
I trust you came back to us for good reason. I doubt that. There isn't an inch of this land the Wardens do not patrol, day and night. If the Steel Garrote were here, we would know.
And if they are here, let them come. Solace has stood against worse threats for hundreds of years.
They destroyed a city full of animancers. If they come for Solace, even these ancient walls won't save you. If that's all you'll do, you might as well not do anything.
You've already destroyed one historical edifice. We heard of what you did to the ruins in Shatterscarp. Give me a reason to tolerate you for even a second longer. Nor I to you. But you've brought us news. Now I'm curious. What do you expect us to do for you? It sounds like you have something in mind. There is no path.
Nor has there been for hundreds of years. There was a bridge once, but it fell in Nandru's time. How do you know of our garden, Envoy?
The garden is our sacred purpose, its observation and protection, a task handed to us by Nandru himself. He once wrote that the island spoke to him, perhaps as it has spoken to you.
The Envoy does bear a remarkable resemblance to our founder, does he not?
The markings on your face, I recognized them. But I didn't want to believe an Adiran could have anything in common with Nandru. Enough. I know you Outlanders to be audacious, but claiming you read the lost journal of our founder, there are no words. If Nandru ever wrote such a thing, do you think the Pargrunen would forget it? Would the living archives misplace such an artifact? We did not lie to you. The bridge has fallen. The path is long gone.
If there is another way, Envoy, you will have to discover it yourself. But I fear you will be disappointed.
It has and always will be our duty to watch over the garden. Even if we knew of the potential of another path, we couldn't tell you. Your facial markings might be similar to Nandru's, but we will not change our ways for an accident of flesh and cartilage. You are an outsider and will remain one forever. The agent of an empire bent on destroying all that we have built. Envoy, you and those like you are why we are here. The Wardens exist to stand in your way.
However noble you may believe your purpose, it is yours alone.
It's mine, too.
You have no more standing in these halls than the Envoy does, Marius. We have no obligation, and indeed, no inclination to help you. Good. Be sure of it.
Kostya, see the Envoy out of our halls. Enough time has been wasted on inconsequential matters.
With all due haste, Mihala.
And Marius, don't stay gone so long next time.
If this is the kind of warm welcome I can expect, I can't wait to come back.
Follow me, Envoy.
Right. I warned you they'd be useless. Or maybe I didn't, but I thought about it. You'd be better off tracking the Steel Garrote. At least they're not useless bureaucrats.
Politicians are alike everywhere, aren't they?
Envoy, I just wanted a word before you went on your way. I wanted to apologize for what happened in the council chamber. The situation here is desperate. We have more mouths than food. The old sicken, the young suffer. But Mihala, well, she's a devoted warden to her core. I think she'd rather we starve than ask for help. Of course! Our people starve and grow ill. And it's all because Mihala insists duty to the dead means more than the living. She won't let our people leave, or speak with outsiders, or trade for the resources we need. There is no reasoning with her. Anything that doesn't strictly serve our oath to Nandru is treason of the highest order. It's why I play my part where she can see. I don't want to risk her wrath. She's a zealot. She forgets that doctrine is worth less than living. Much like your Inquisitor Ludwig, I suspect. Two sides of the same miserable coin. Mihala has firm principles, and I respect the strength of them. But it's all so pointless. If we stay in this keep, we will surely die. Neither our oaths nor this keep will prevent our people from starving. Change must happen. We need to leave the keep. Do you understand me? The keep decays, and we drown in the rot. The wardens defend a corpse against that which would revive it. We will not last here much longer. Not without food, building materials, medical supplies. I let Nadiran trade caravans slip past our patrols, but that's hardly enough. We need so much more. All of which your ambassador in Paradis could provide. If I could only start the conversation. Information. You're looking for another path to the garden. I don't know if there is one, but I know who might. You were right, you know. The Steel Garrote are in the mines at Mount Forja, looking for the garden even as we speak. If they haven't found what you're looking for, they will soon. I hear their commander is a determined woman. Mihala would have had us rushing headlong to our deaths fighting the Steel Garrote. She does not care about how the situation could advantage us. The garden does not matter to me. Whether it's you or the Steel Garrote who find it, I don't care. Forget duty. Duty cannot feed our children. Duty cannot keep us safe.
Can't argue with him on that.
The Inquisitor is questionable creature, but she might be all that stands between us and doom. She has the ambassador's ear. With her support, he might agree to trade with us. It doesn't matter how reasonable he is if I don't have his ear. I am an aging dwarf from a small, fanatical order on the ass end of a volcanic wasteland. Against Mihala's wishes, I have written to him many times. He refuses to lend his ear. But if a powerful ally were to speak on my behalf, there might be something I could offer him. Something like the keep.
You give them the keep? Have you lost your Sundan mind?
Solace Keep is just a place. You're looking for a way to help your people, aren't you?
The keep. Its inane traditions. None of that means anything to me. I want to offer up Solace Keep to Adir and the Stilgaroth in exchange for goods and gold.
That's a sensible trade in my book.
Its existence has cost us so much. The least it can do is buy a future for our people. I have been nothing but honest with you about my intention to save my people. If that is treachery, then I shall proudly bear the title traitor. Mihala believes your empire cannot see us as anything but rivals. After Fior, I suspect you Adirans think of the people of the Living Lands as little more than bugs to be crushed. If you think of us at all. An agreement may protect us from dying from deprivation, and perhaps also keep us safe from Adir's hunger. It might seem a foolish idea, but better to be a fool who tried than a coward who did not. I thought you'd empathize with this more. Your quest for the garden is also a fool's errand. You are not the first person to have said that. I want you to get what you want, Envoy. My hope is that you don't kill the Inquisitor before I get what I want too. I would never ask you not to defend yourself, Envoy. In any case, the Stilgaroth are at the Mount Forja mines. To get there, head west across the primordial depths. Do as you will. I believe the Pargrunen and the Adirans can forge a mutually beneficial alliance. That will not happen if there is unnecessary bloodshed. Also, take care, Envoy.
He's in a tough position, but I believe he's trying to do right by his people.
Any news, Andrada?
Sorry, Geoffrey. Captain. No, the council's still going after us. No help.
But Kostya says that Solace Keep is nothing but a crypt. We'll die in here.
I'm so tired of listening to you. Kostya this, Kostya that. Solace Keep protects us all. I don't want to hear another word.
An outlander.
Don't mean to be disrespectful, but we'd prefer not to deal with your kind.
What's wrong with talking to the Outlander, We need outside opinions. We need medicine. You're sick, Mother.
Pargrunen affairs are Pargrunen affairs. We don't speak of them to outsiders.
Even if it costs you your life, Mother? You'd rather die than ask for help from an Outlander?
Kostya has a lot to answer for. Poisoning our youth's minds with these ideas.
Solus Keep's matters are for Solus Keep's wardens. Stay out of it.
Why won't you listen? If we don't change our ways, the Pargrunen are done for.
I don't want to hear another word of this!
What do you think it means?
25,
What do you think?
26.
What means?
Suck, I lost count.
My gods, they're killing us! Zarb tracks. Lots of them. We're entering hostile territory.
Take him
This one's mine.
Look right. Right flank.
Who are you, spirit? Go away. I know you're not real. I'll stop you if I must.
The trap cuts. The fox cries at the pain of the hare. The justice of the wild.
The plague's corrupted the rest of us. The steel corrode. Now our minds broken. I won't let it take me. I'll keep my sanity. You're not real. You can't be. No, go away, spirit.
Alfir. I knew it. To fall to the thing you came to stamp out? That's a cruel kind of poetry.
Is that my name? Alfir? I've been wondering. What is it me I'm frightened of? Or her? My soul is mine. Mine, it will not be despoiled. What was that prayer Lureen taught us to banish the visions? Fearsome Modica, by your withering gaze I bind this tricksome devil. Oh gods, it's still there. I see the canopy of a tree inside your soul. No! Stop looking at me. I don't want to see it.
Right. She's gone. I'd almost suggest leaving her like this. So, what's the plan?
None shall pass, she said. The ruiner, the rival, the seed of the poisonous tree. Wodica, bind you, villain!
Oh, no, you don't! Time for a new weapon!
Unseat! Time for new armor!
Take a moment, people.
At least the volcano's easy to find.
Who's that?
Stop right there!
You're mine now! Coming from the rear.
Saga so steel corrode slaughtered them and left them to rot. I say we paid them in kind. Agreed.
Ha! After them!
Still right there!
Unseek!
Found you!
You're going to regret this!
Quiet, Nimdut.
Better part of it.
This is a mess. And the Steel Garrod aren't the disorderly type. They must have left in a hurry. Are these Pargrunen books? Like campfire reading? I wonder how the Steel Garrod got them.
They circled Solace Keep on the map. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Impossible. I've explored every inch of the keep. If there was a path to the garden inside the keep, I'd know about it.
Hang on. What if that path is under the keep? Someone must have told Ludwig. Even amongst a tight-knit group like the Pargrunen, there's always someone with a price.
Doesn't matter. A Steel Garrod getting to the garden cannot be a good thing.
Reminds me of the good old days.
About blessed day time.
Trespasser! She defiles our ground! Murderer! She is near!
You will go no further. The garden is under our protection.
And who is going to stop? The time has come to take the garden.
Wardens will never...
Yesterday, this island suffered in the grip of its own madness. Today, the living lands unites under one flag. One people. One law. One true God.
No! Never again!
had enough as paladins.
Arms up!
Don't be shy, envoy!
So here you are. Sapadal coaxed you toward the garden, a spider luring a fly to the safety of the web.
Who spins? Who rides? She weaves a trap of steel.
Look at my paladins, envoy. Look what your god has done to us. I should have realized it sooner. The Dream Scourge is Sapadal's weapon. A cudgel to drive us out of the living lands. Then Sapadal's danger is only outmatched by their unpredictability. What a pair we make, envoy. Proxies in a war between gods. Your patron versus my faith. A war that ends here and now. The choice is ours. Do we trust our own judgment? Or do we gamble it all on the monster whispering in your ear? Keep your promise to the Emperor. Cut the Dream Scourge off at the root. Permanently.
No!
No matter where we turn, we find the consequences of Sapadal. Plague, blight, madness. The living lands hangs by a thread because mortals cannot live in the shadow of a god, much less one that's lost its mind.
I hate to say this, but she's got a point. Not that I trust her with the solution.
We were fine living at the whim of a sleeping god until you came along and woke it up.
You and I alone can save the living lands by destroying the unending madness that is Sapadal.
She lies! She poisons!
Good. This island's got enough trouble ahead without an angry god making it worse.
Are you sure that's the right decision?
It's not every day that a godlike vanquishes their creator. Tell me, when the time comes, will you hesitate? Or will it be swift? And that is where the trap will close, because Sapadal has your heart in their palm. Are you confident in your own strength? Do you imagine that Sapadal has no hold over you? I will judge that for myself, and judge harshly, starting with your conduct in Dawnshore.
I knew everything we've done would come back to bite us.
You brought your killer to justice, sending a message to anyone who would dare stand in our way. When the embassy disappointed us, you changed our fortunes. What of Emerald Stair? You were wise not to interfere with Fior Messiverno. Wiser, perhaps blind. It makes no difference. The Steel Garrote cleansed the city of governance, history, and animancy gone awry. And who will collect it? You? Ambassador Heelguard? I think not. Our paths crossed again in Shatterscarp. You destroyed the ruins of Naku Kubel, saved the settlement, hobbled the Dream Scourge. When caught between impossible choices, you trusted logic. For that, you have my respect. After weighing your conduct, I have reached a decision. You have one chance to do the right thing, Envoy. One chance. Kill Sapadal, and do not falter.
A false promise. A chance to escape.
We can worry about her later. First, we've got to get off this mountain alive and track down your god.
Your fealty has bought you my trust. Do not squander it. Just do your job, Envoy. I leave Sapadal in the garden to you. Another matter calls me back to Dawnshore.
What? You were just gonna let her leave?
Until next time.
Nice of the Death Guard to let us do her dirty work.
Throws on our flanks.
More dream throws. Really? Envoy, look left. You're too late.
I hope you're ready to sleep with one eye open, because I doubt Ludwig sleeps at all.
I hate to say it, but whatever did that, whatever turned all those people into dream thralls, I think it was Sapadal.
Anyone else feel like everything's falling apart?
Vipers in a knot. The venom drowns us. Save us, please. They stand outside our prison. We rattle the bars, they do not hear. We scream, they do not answer. They come, a surging flood of parasites. They destroy us bite by bite. We do not wish this, not again. They eat us alive. Out! Let us out! Set us free! They eat through us, carve us open, no difference. New steel treads upon the ashes of the old. The light stands in the midst, the old light. It blinds us. Send it away! We grow new life, better life. We fill them until they explode. Death is decay. Decay is life. Growth is life. Growth is pain. It hurts. It has always hurt this way. And our pain spreads, and the rot spreads. The plague grows. No. We see now. The mycelial roots tended with our blood and tears. We wanted to be patience and strength, but we were afraid. They hurt us and would not stop. We did not mean to. We were innocent. We were never taught the meaning of our strength. We were nothing once, and then we were. As we woke to the world, we reached out and we found them, the other gods. We thought they would love us, but they flinched from us like we were a flame. The Charred Queen called us an abomination. We tore chasms in the land and boiled its rivers to stop her magfolk, to save our people. How could we have known how fragile their bodies were? She hurt us, killed those who loved us. She wanted us gone, forgotten, destroyed utterly. She called us aberration. She named us monster before we even knew what we were. Yet she made it our sin. She who caged us. She who called us monster. We thrash and the affliction rises. We scream and the rot spreads. We did not intend to lie. You close your ears. We try to clear the mist. They hurt us. We hurt them back. We hurt them again, again, again. We dreamed of green shoots, roses without thorns to prick. The vines of the past strangle us. Help us. We are alone. We cause it, but it is not our way. We will make this better. We promise. Help us. Release us. Then the rot ends. Free us. Free yourself. Free the living lands. We give you another sliver of our power, a piece of us. Do you accept? The parasites who trapped us left a door in the garden's wall. Reach it, and you can set us free. Let us aid you once more. So be it. Continue without us. Find the wall of the valley across the acid sea. It cups our prison in its palm. It waits. We wait. Free us. End our suffering.
Come and get me. Watch your back. Armor isn't helping.
Fear in the eyes!
Listen.
Hurry in the brush!
Invaders in the garden.
Seems like someone's ready to stop.
Everybody all right? Let's go. Take your best shot. Behind you.
He disturbs us.
Worry in the brush.
This one's mine.
Watch yourselves.
We need to leave before all of the tusks is flooded with lava.
I don't like the way that lava is rising. That's why none built this
He's not
Watch
the one I'm
yourself,
worried
Outlander.
about.
Sure.
Someone's
Keep
going
it
to have
down.
to tell the
I knew it.
outlaws.
You know, the moment I saw that the Tyrant wherever we go news was a bad sign.
Everyone, please, do not panic. Simply exit the keep, quickly and calmly, and...
Garud!
Oh, Marius! Praise Abaddon! You are alive!
What's happening? Why is everyone running around like blessed fools?
The volcano erupted. Any minute now, we're going to be flooded. We're evacuating. Kostya's gone to open the lava sluice gates, but they've been disused for so long. When Forja erupted, I thought... Oh, my boy. I'm so glad you're alive.
Envoy, whatever it is, we are in crisis. I cannot help you.
We're minutes away from being overrun by lava flows. I have to get my people out. You must leave now. We told you, we don't know, and this is hardly the time to be asking.
The Steel Garrote would tell you otherwise. We have reason to believe there's a path under the keep. Be thankful you're talking to us rather than them. They were planning to storm the keep.
They're all dead, by the way. You're welcome.
The Steel Garrote were marching on the keep? How? Why would they think the garden was beneath Solace?
How could they have gotten anywhere close to such valuable artifacts? Kostya's scouts would have seen them and they didn't report. You weren't lying then. He was. Good God.
Could Kostya have told the Steel Garrote about another entrance to the garden?
No. If such a thing existed, I can't believe it. He wouldn't. We took an oath to Nandru. The garden was our sacred duty, and he betrayed us. I can't believe I didn't see this coming. I was a fool. I have failed my duties. Kostya.
Nobody truly knows Kostya. Not even I suspect himself. At his core, Envoy, he is afraid, as all Kith are. But he allows his fear to rule him. And that makes him weak.
I understand how Kostya could be tempted by false notions of freedom and prosperity, but...
But an oath cannot change. A duty should not change.
I can't believe Kostya handed the Steel Garrote a secret we protected for hundreds of years. Mayu. Who knows what he'll do with the sluice gates? He cares so little for the keep that I worry he's going to have us drowning in lava.
Oh, no, I cannot ask you to do that.
I love all my wardens, Envoy. Even the traitors. But I will show you where Kostya has gone. If he wants to tell someone where the garden is, let him tell you. If you find that he's doing anything other than opening the gates that would protect our home from the lava, I would ask that you stop him.
Mihala.
I meant what I said. I do not wish to see him dead. But if he would risk the keep, then he risks our lives. We cannot suffer those who would harm us to live. Now I must return to the evacuation, and you must go on your way. Go now, and go with the gods.
If I were gonna have a drink with one of the gods, I'd pick Abidin.
Ah, the outsiders. Welcome. Outsider.